May the 29th, 1968, Senator Robert Kennedy arrives in Los Angeles.
There they are. Hello, girls. How are you? We're back.
Kennedy is campaigning for nomination as Democratic candidate for the presidency. Opposing him, Senator Eugene McCarthy. The day before, McCarthy had beaten him in the Oregon primaries, and Kennedy had tasted defeat. Success here is vital. Robert Kennedy's last campaign was beginning.
I think you probably need to rush right now.
Hey, Joe.
How are you?
How are you?
Good man, eloquent.
A press conference at the airport.
Each candidate's appeal to our differing philosophies, convictions, and qualifications. The grassroots. And I will abide by the results of that test.
The state of California is vast. 800 miles from north to south, with San Francisco in the north, San Diego in the south. Between, endless suburbs. Neither candidate can cover the whole state in a month. Polling is only a week away. Both have to depend on media coverage, the press, radio, and television.
Human welfare and liberty, the defense of this nation and its perfect union, these are as much our goals today as they were 200 years ago.
Kennedy has consistently refused to meet McCarthy on television. Now he agrees to a public confrontation. It will be a fair test of each candidate's appeal, he tells the press, and adds, if I died in Oregon, I hope Los Angeles is Resurrection City.
Senator, you said you would abide by the result of the California primary. Does this mean that you will withdraw if you lost the California primary?
Kennedy replies, I think the statement speaks for itself. It did, and the newsman knew it. If Kennedy suffers defeat in California, he will withdraw from the campaign. The next few days will make or break Robert Kennedy's political career. Later, in a room at the Ambassador Hotel, Kennedy meets leaders of the Los Angeles religious community.
We are here today for a relatively simple purpose in a complicated
And I
age.
don't know what I can do for you down here.
We're here to find out for ourselves firsthand where Senator Kennedy stands on the issues that we care about. It's my own hope that the issues we care about have to do with the needs of men both here and abroad. And I assume that the Senator will try to do likewise with his answers.
Very much. I'm delighted to see all of you, and I hope you all said your prayers this morning. Hartmeyer, Reverend clergy, and I might add, I hope you said your prayers for the right thing. I need it. But I'm pleased to see you, and I'm pleased to look out and see so many people. It seems so strange to see nuns and priests come to meetings. I remember in 1960 that...
Throughout the campaign, Kennedy constantly refers to his long and wide political experience. In spite of his comparative youth, he has served on the National Security Council, been Attorney General, and member of the Cabinet. McCarthy, though older than Kennedy, can claim no more than long service on congressional committees. 2 floors up in the same hotel, Robert Kennedy's mother, Mrs. Rose Kennedy, also holds a press conference. She, too, counters arguments about her son's youth.
Everything all right? Thank you. I'm
First time a young man stands up,
Kennedy was fast becoming the candidate of dissent, wresting from McCarthy leadership of the underprivileged, the idealists, and particularly the student generation.
Let me ask you this. Why do you think many people charge that your son's political appeal is only toward the younger generation?
Well, I think he personifies youth, and he's with his own children. And I think because he's had so many children and because he has grown up in a family that he has become particularly interested in young people and their problems, and probably he feels that he understands them. And then I think my other son was identified more or less with the youth all over the world. I've heard that. I've received letters from people who have named schools after him or clubs after him, young people.
The campaign moves into the streets. Kennedy's staff men allege police escorts were refused because regulations did not cover candidates for party nominations. These are not real policemen, but employees of a local funeral parlor, given badges for the occasion.
Everybody back.
In early motorcades, Kennedy takes his spaniel, Freckles, with him. In Oregon, McCarthy had mocked Kennedy. He's even brought his spaniel into the campaign. I don't see that this clarifies the issues very much. After his Oregon defeat, Kennedy told a glum audience, "I've decided to send Freckles home." A man from the crowd shouted, "Don't do it." So Kennedy didn't.
Good morning, Kennedy for president. Thank you. Good morning, Kennedy for president. May I help you?
Campaign headquarters. Kennedy had been in the presidential race for less than 3 months when he arrived in California to make his final push for political survival. His campaign had been put together literally on the run. It's not the juggernaut it's cracked up to be.
One spoon. All right. This is 937.
Variety, the show business magazine, estimated the cost of Kennedy's nationwide campaign as $18 million. This figure was later denied by Kennedy aides. But the Kennedys were spending freely, about $1.5 million in California, and certainly far more than McCarthy.
We're open from 9 to 9, ma'am. We like all the volunteer help we can get.
The state of California required all the organization and political know-how the Kennedy camp could muster. Television and radio time had to be booked and filled. Copywriters for television and newspaper advertisements had to be commissioned. Statistics, trends, and projections had to be computed.
Immediately.
We said that book sitting over there.
No, I know.
Now I have very good memories. So the best thing to do is
Art Rothkopf said he talked to you about it.
One of the others earlier, right?
Above all, free exposure had to be tirelessly pursued. Itineraries were worked out, which not only put Kennedy in contact with as many likely voters as possible, but allowed him to take part in the sort of activities newsreel cameramen would film and television producers would include in their mass audience news programs.
Well, then what do you want to do?
No, but the best way of doing it, you see the street here?
And you two have yours. This is over to you, Mr. Chairman. Precinct 32 in the 23rd.
But even in the media state, Kennedy's personal presence in the streets, where he could be seen in the flesh, was all important. He broke off one press conference with the words, "I've got to go because I have a lot of fans waiting. I hope."
Move away from the wheel, folks. You'll get hurt here now. Get him out of the way back. Move away, you'll get hurt.
He had. The tumult was colossal. Hysterical crowds tore at him, ripping his shirt, snatching his cufflinks, pulling him from the car. Buoyed up by their enthusiasm, Kennedy tells an aide, "These are my people. These are my people."
Wait back! Let him through! Move away from the wheel, folks. You'll get hurt here now. Get him on the way back. Move away, you'll get hurt.
His friend Rafer Johnson, an Olympic champion from Los Angeles, holds him. By the end of some days, his knees bleed.
Stay back. That away. That's being good people. Stay away from the wheel, folks. Stay away from the wheel. Stay away from the wheel. You get hurt. You get hurt. Stay back, folks. Stay back. Stay away from the Stay away from the car, folks. Stay away from the car, folks. Stay away from the car. Stay away from the car, folks. Stay away from the wheel. Men don't have to go.
Away from the tumult, the steady work of electioneering goes on. After his defeat in Oregon, Kennedy knew that merely to win in California would not be enough. He had to win it decisively and demonstrate his vote-pulling power to the party brokers in other states. Besides, California, with Kennedy's own state of New York, could provide 28% of the votes he needed for nomination as presidential candidate.
Mr. Van Steen?
That's right.
My name is Redding Pitt. I'm a volunteer worker for Senator Bob Kennedy.
Oh, yeah.
And I wondered if there were any opinions that Senator Kennedy's been expressing that...
I'm a Democrat myself, and most of his policies and his lines I go along with. Naturally, there are some that I don't go along, but so is it with the others. My vote, that's for sure.
Very good.
That's
Thanks,
for sure.
sir. Thank you, sir.
Because I don't agree with McCarty.
My name is Redding Pitt. I'm a volunteer worker for Senator Bob Kennedy. I've come out here to this precinct to ask if there's any viewpoints that you'd like to have carried back to Kennedy's headquarters or anything.
Yeah, tell them to stop the war.
You'd like some literature or something on this primary on Tuesday?
No, I won't read it anyway.
Yeah. Well, do you think you're going to support Senator Kennedy in this election?
Huh?
You're going to be supporting Senator Kennedy in this election on Tuesday?
I don't think so.
Yeah, you are. Your mother lives here too, right?
Yeah.
So you guys are undecided right now?
Am I undecided?
Yeah.
No, I'm not a registered voter, really.
Senator Kennedy would appreciate your support, and thanks for your time.
Okay. Do good with me. I'm not voting.
Yeah, well, anyway,
Okay.
Watts, the Negro district. Kennedy can count on 80% of the Negro vote. This is still the first day in Los Angeles. But now elated, Kennedy is recovering from the Oregon defeat.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce my wife to you, Mrs. Kennedy. Over there, they're waiting. This is ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate your warm welcome. This is a difficult campaign. I need your help and your support over the period of the next 5 days.
Well behind schedule, the motorcade moves between El Monte, Fontana, San Bernardino and Riverside. It is midnight before the day's campaigning ends. Kennedy had been at it 18 hours. May the 30th, the traditional whistle-stop tour. Ahead, the farming communities of the Central Valley. During the morning, McCarthy visited Watts. He had a cool reception. Kennedy is enjoying himself. He feels more at home, more sure of himself, talking with farmers. They are among the have-nots of America. A journalist wrote of Kennedy, he became the champion of the poor, the blacks, the Indians. Although possessed of advantages, he felt himself as one with a disadvantage. He had been dispossessed of his treasure, his brother.
Very pleased to be. Can we take the sign down? Thank you very much. Thank you, Belfort. Thank you very much. Southern Oregon. You wouldn't do that to me here, would you? You're my friends in California. And we're going to win here in California. And we're going to make a difference for this state and for the country. You are here with me, and I wanted to introduce my wife, Ethel Kennedy, to you. As you know, Senator McCarthy and I are scheduled on Saturday night to hold a discussion of the great issues confronting our party and our nation. I hope very much that you will decide to join with us on that occasion. One great issue of contention within our party has been the continued escalation of the war in Vietnam. In recent weeks, even since President Johnson's speech of March 31st, the intensification of the war has meant an increase. No doubt that our party and our country would benefit from a candid discussion of the issues between us. There are also disagreements between us on the somber questions of our national future and the rioting which has affected the United States and our city. And ladies and gentlemen, why should our deaths in our Army and our Marine Corps double in 1967 over 1966, while those in the South Vietnamese Army were going steadily down until they were less than ours?
It was really a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. Thank you very much.
Murray Senator Mike Nolan, I advanced Turlock.
That's great.
And you did a beautiful job, Mike. Beautiful.
Where are you from?
I'm from Stanford, Washington State, and Yale. I'm from Harvard, though, Senator, so it's all right. we counteract each other, right?
Thanks very much, Phil. How was that? Was it good?
Yeah, no, it's quite good.
Robert Kennedy had been tagged by the press with two labels, ruthless and demagogue. During his campaign, he joked about them, but trod carefully all the same. The adulation of crowds affected him, led him into incautious remarks, into lies if they achieved a good response. At other times, he would reveal uncertainty, turning to a journalist and asking, "Am I doing the right thing?" Not all journalists liked him. Some hated him.
How are they reacting to that?
Very nice.
It's terribly disconcerting when I look out in the audience and saw all these nice
Yes. You're joking about it, Terry? I yelled very loudly.
Everybody's enthusiastic as any Mexican-American going.
Have to stop and run.
She turns out to be Mrs. Hernando Valdez.
Oh, dear. I don't know what they've arranged. I think it's going to be along the same format.
The television debate with McCarthy is to take place in San Francisco the next day. Press interest mounts. The challenge had come from McCarthy. Kennedy's plan had been to ignore his opponent, let him fade into obscurity. Already McCarthy was being lost in the shadow of Kennedy's charisma, personal magnetism that drew public attention to him. Unlike Kennedy, McCarthy had a recognition problem. The debate will be watched by tens of millions and give him valuable exposure. Worse, McCarthy supporters confidently predict he will make mincemeat of Kennedy.
Mrs. Kennedy, everybody characterizes your husband. I know the polls say what kind of man the profile of him, and different people characterize him. What would you say about his personality?
I think he has tremendous courage and commitment. And I think he can solve problems.
I raised that point. In fact, Vice President there. I'm glad to participate with him. I'm glad to air my views publicly, as I have frequently in the past, of what I think needs to be done about the cities. Talk about what we're doing now and what the changes should be. Vice President, could I just finish? The Vice President is not coming. I'm glad to appear, as I said anyway.
Senator, who would you actually unfair to both of you or not to have Vice President Humphrey in the debate?
Senator Kennedy, if you decide to run out of the race for the
I'm planning to
nomination,
win.
but who would you support if
Planning to win.
the senator in the primaries in which you were
Bye-bye.
Saturday, June the 1st.
Senator Robert F. Kennedy, Democrat of New York, versus Senator Eugene J. McCarthy, Democrat of Minnesota, appearing in their first official confrontation on ABC News Issues and Answers, a special report.
Some 171 television stations and 825 radio outlets broadcast the program.
In fact, you were president. What would you do at this time that President Johnson is not doing in order to bring peace in Vietnam? There are two or three things that I would be doing, or at least recommending, if I were president at this time. I would be de-escalating the war in Vietnam, drawing back from some of our advanced positions while still holding strength in Vietnam,
Saigon, the government of Saigon would begin their own negotiations with the National Liberation Front. I would be opposed to what I understand Senator McCarthy's position of forcing a coalition government on the government of Saigon, a coalition with the communists, even before we begin negotiations. I would make it quite clear that we're going to the negotiating table not with the idea that we want them to unconditionally surrender, but and that we expect that the National Liberation Front.
It's practical apartheid. And I see that some industry can go into the ghetto, but some of the housing has got to go out of the ghetto. So there's a distribution of races throughout the whole structure of our cities and on into our rural areas.
I'm in favor of moving people out of the ghetto. But we have 14 million Negroes who are in the ghettos at the present time. We have here in the state of California 1 million Mexican Americans whose poverty is even greater than many of the black people. You say that you're going to take 10,000 black people and move them into Orange County or...
Halfway through the debate, Kennedy aides breathe with relief. Kennedy proves aggressive and gets the edge over McCarthy. It's no triumph, but survival plus. The campaign gathers pace. A Democratic gala before 6,000 supporters. Raquel Welch.
I'd just like to say thank you very much for this opportunity to come to San Francisco and share my ideas, my enthusiasm with you for Senator Kennedy for president. I'd just like to reiterate on some of my thoughts and say them to you personally. I just felt that if there was a man who could unite this country where it's divided, Robert F. Kennedy is the man. We need a man who can speak for our country. We need a young man, a man who speaks for our country.
Kim Novak.
And though we are not now the strength which in the old days moved earth and heaven, that which we are one equal temper of heroic hearts, made weak by time and fate, but strong in will, to strive and to seek and to find, and not to yield.
Jerry Lewis.
please come in, Parachute.
I'd like to say how very thrilled I am to have been told to be here. I do a lot of benefits. I'm not unlike a lot of performers. But you know, you can get sucked into a benefit. You never know what it's really, thank you. You never know what it's really all about. And I want to make sure. Now, is Bobby Baby here? No, I want to know the truth. Because, you know, very often an affair like this could be for the Hadassah. I'd like to check it out. I mean, is Bobby here? Will you put a light on? I want to know if he's really here. That's all. Where? Do you wave or something so I recognize you? He's here! Happy to see you, Bob. How's it going?
Sunday, the 2nd of June. The campaign pauses, but not the supporters. There is to be a glittering fundraising gala on behalf of the Democratic Party. Mrs. Pierre Selinger calls Warren Beatty.
Hello, may I speak with Warren Beatty, please? Oh, hi, how are you, Warren? Listen, could you come tomorrow? There will be a rally, a reception for Senator and Mrs. Kennedy. Could you come and be there? It's at 8 o'clock, and if you could be there on time, because they might be just a little late. And okay, yeah, just bring her, that will be fine.
Monday, the 3rd of June. Another day and night of motorcades in San Francisco, San Diego, Los Angeles. 1,200 miles. Yet another 18-hour day for Kennedy. Kennedy is tired out. Sometimes his hands bleed from incessant handshaking. They shake even when he tries to relax. He complains to an aide, "I don't feel good."
Everybody over on this side, you're going to get squeezed over there.
He breaks down at the rally, recovers and paraphrases Bernard Shaw. Some men see things as they are and say, why? I dream things as they never were and say, why not?
America needs Robert Kennedy. Robert Kennedy needs your support today. Vote for Robert F. Kennedy for president today. Think of all that has to be done in America in the next 4 years. RFK for USA. Vote Kennedy.
June the 4th, polling day. A Californian opinion poll has given Kennedy a 5% lead over McCarthy, but 18% are still said to be undecided.
Maureen Bartman, B-A-R-T.
Of course, some are, but and you're Republican, so you have to go on the right-hand side, those booths at the right.
All right. Now, this is your...
This is your ballot.
This is the ballot?
And that's just the
name,
envelope.
And the names are here?
June the 5th, the Ambassador Hotel. The results of the Californian primary are due.
special CBS News survey of voters leaving the polling places indicates that Senator Robert F. Kennedy is leading solidly.
To him and for what he's done and the effort that he's made on behalf of the working man here in the state of California.
Senator Kennedy was shot. I don't know how seriously. There is in the middle where the kitchen is. By the kitchen. In the back room off the back room. Right. He's lying on the floor. They yell for a doctor. There's a lot of screaming.
Please go out of the room. Please go out of the room. Please go out of the room. Please leave the room. You can help us. Get out of here. Come on.
Medical aid to the senator. Now, would you please leave, or would you rather stand? Are there any more Are there any more doctors in the house? Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to clear this room. Would you clear the room, please? Please clear the room.
Any doctors in the room, please? We need you immediately. Are there any doctors?
No, the doctor is requested, and we don't know who this is for.
Especially here in this area.
Yes, one man, yes, and he was holding on to the gun, so it was obvious.
Did he say anything?
He was just wouldn't let go. He was mad. He was a lunatic.
How was he dressed?
He was dressed in a blue jacket, blue jeans, tennis shoes, and
And your name, just your name, sir.
Gabor Kadar.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Back.
Yes. And then I heard 4 shots, 4 or 5 shots. And I ran up, and right away the senator was lying on the ground.
Take him out of the room, please.
And there was a pool of blood, and everyone was saying, oh my God, and there was another man lying on the ground, and the senator was wearing blue.
You said it was a blue waistcoat?
Blue waistcoat, blue tennis, and jeans, right.
What is your name, sir?
Gabor Kadar.
Did the man have any mustache or any...
No mustache, nothing. He had bushy hair. He was crazy.
Which room did it happen?
Right as they were leading for the elevator.
How was he dressed?
Blue waistcoat.
Blue waistcoat, like a waiter?
No, no waiter. I can't.
Just the guy in the rest. Let's end up a second. Did Dark didn't call anyone for you? Is there someone in your cab or something?
No.
The gunman.
You must have been insane.
There were about 1,000 people inside this auditorium at the time it happened. Only those who were very near the door through which Senator Kennedy had just passed were immediately aware the shooting had occurred. There was a great series of screams there, and shouts, and then
Mortally wounded, Robert Kennedy has been carried to the Good Samaritan Hospital. A long vigil begins. A stunned nation holds its breath.
do you want them back to back?
And from the reports we had earlier, this must be when he was being moved from Central Receiving Hospital to Good Samaritan Hospital, an oxygen mask on his face and a bottle of plasma, which is not visible in this picture. And undoubtedly, as Walter Cronkite noted, in a case such as this, he was probably given immediate sedation when he arrived at the hospital.
And see if you can detect just what we did, that there's a shot and then a very long delay. It seems about 60 seconds, and then we hear a series of shots.
Wednesday, June the 5th. A columnist writes, "We are ashamed for our children." A New York television station leaves one word on their screens for 4 hours. Shame. Some tried to recall the lines Robert Kennedy had quoted in tribute to his slain brother 4 years before. "When he shall die, take him and cut him out in little stars, and he will make the face of heaven so fine that all the world will be in love with night and pay no worship to the garish sun." June the 6th. Robert Kennedy has died. June the 7th, St. Patrick's Cathedral, New York. Robert Kennedy's name will rank among the great might-have-beens of history. There is no purpose in asking what he might have achieved, but he brought Americans hope. In the early days of his last campaign, he had set aside his prepared speech, held out his arms, and appealed to an audience of students. "I ask your help," he said. "I ask you, as tens of thousands of young men and women are doing all over this land, to organize yourselves, and then go forth and work for new policies, so that we can have a new birth for this country, a new light to guide us. And I pledge to you, if you will give me your help, if you will give me your hand, I will work for you, and we will have a new America." To many, it must have seemed that with Robert Kennedy's death, the last beacon of hope had been extinguished. No one will deny that since his death, America has passed into darker days.